Looking around, I finally see I think I need a change. The rat race, I wanna flee, my world I'll rearrange. I'm getting back to the roots of how it's meant to be. Growing gardens, picking fruit, racing livestock, living free. It's a modern homestead. Build a modern homestead.
Well, hello and welcome to the Modern Homesteading Podcast. We are your hosts, Harold Thornborough
and Rachel Jameson.
Glad you're joining us today. And today we're going to talk about our picks of what we consider the best organic seed companies, the ones we like, the ones that have a lot of good things said about them. We'll talk about some criteria, what we think makes a good seed company for you to get your seeds from. But before we jump into that, how are you doing, Rachel?
Pretty good. It's we kind of talked about this before we got on we record these, so we were just recording yesterday. So not much has changed in the day since we talked last time, but
true.
I did get my Christmas stuff put away.
Yeah.
And
my wife did that the other day. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have some, I started doing some more broth for canning because I'm trying to clean out my freezer. So
yeah, yesterday for me, I had to do a little bit of vehicle maintenance. It was oil change time again. And I've been just doing a lot of writing. I found I was sitting at the computer a lot yesterday. I got to write some articles for some other things I'm writing. And I wrote some stuff for my website and show notes and things like that. I've just been doing a lot of writing. It seemed like for really the last couple of weeks, I've been doing quite a bit of writing. And then I've also agreed to write some things for some homestead bundles and things. So I'm trying to get that stuff.
You're going to have to share those in the front porch.
Well, it'll pop up at some point, I'm sure. But yeah, seems like there's a lot of that going on right now. It comes in seasons for me. Like there'll be, a couple months where I'll be doing a lot of writing, and then there'll be a couple months where it seems like I'm not doing any really, other than maybe just show notes or something. But yeah, and I like it sometimes, and sometimes I don't like it. So that works out well.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as the homestead though, greenhouse stuff is just like I talked about in the last episode. I'm just putting cuttings in there now. I don't expect that we'll get any days as cold as what we had here just recently. Hopefully not anyway. It's pretty uncommon even here in Indiana to have temperatures that low. So I probably will start some more pots of lettuce out there and try to get some. I mean, if I'm heating it, I want to use, use that heat for some valuable things other than just, rooting cuttings. So I probably will get some lettuce going out there again. Microgreens are doing good. Still harvesting those. I opened the top on my fermenting crock yesterday and took a big whiff of that fermented sauerkraut going on in there. I'm like, oh yeah, it's happening. It's definitely happening. I like it.
That's a nice smell.
I like it. You can definitely tell when it's working.
Yes. Yeah.
But I was kind of surprised because that particular fermenting crock, it's got that the lid that you pour the water around and it seals it. It creates like an airlock, and you can't smell anything. I mean, I put my nose right up to that, and it's supposed to let the gases come through the water, and nothing go in.
Right.
But I'm not smelling anything outside that crock at all, which is nice because that won't draw any like gnats or anything like that, which is kind of common when you're fermenting. But yeah, I couldn't even tell that any smell on the outside of that pot till I opened that lid. I picked up nothing, so that was kind of neat. So I'm enjoying that crock.
Yeah, I don't have a crock like that. We just use a 5-gallon bucket and a bag of water and a plate. But I've wanted one. I just haven't.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have any like that either. I've always most of the stuff I've always done just in mason jars, But that's nice to have. I could see maybe investing in a couple more of those in the future.
They're so pretty to look at.
They're neat. Yeah, I like them. They're just they take up a lot of space though.
Sometimes
they're big.
It's nice to have. Sometimes it's nice to have pretty things that are also functional.
Yeah. And you know what? Taken care of properly, it's something you can hand down to grandkids. Right. I mean, fermenting crocks, you can find them sometimes for sale or whatever, and they're old. I mean, you're talking like 60, 70, 80-year-old crocks that you'll find at a rummage sale or something. I've seen them. Usually people want a pretty penny for them, but
I have several huge ones. I have a butter churn that's an antique. And then I have a big, well, not several. I have a really big one. It's a 20-gallon And that thing is heavy. If you ever put sauerkraut in that, you would have to do it where it's going to stay. Because even empty, that thing's heavy. I can crawl down inside of it. It's huge.
I love stuff like that, though. And
it might
that
even be more than 25 gallons. It's
anything
big.
I find like that at a decent price, I'll grab. Or cast iron things I love. Anything I can find at like a rummage sale or something that's cast iron, I love to get my hands on. I just love that old stuff, that you can hand down to further generations, if they want it. And that stuff just lasts forever if you take care of it.
Yeah. Yeah, mine doesn't have any cracks. I haven't used it only because I read somewhere that some of those have lead in them, especially the older ones. So I have not used it for that. We just use it to put towels in and stuff in the bathroom.
Yeah,
because it's cute.
Because it's cute.
Because it's my style.
Sometimes you got to do that. Yeah, you just got to decorate with
that
it.
Really primitive style. I'll have to post pictures, but that's kind of always been my thing, the really primitive look. And so the crock was just an addition because I wanted my house to look cute.
It's nice if you can have that stuff decorating and serving a purpose too. I guess ultimately that's the real purpose. But yeah, if you just want to set stuff around too, to each their own.
Yep. Well, for the longest time, I actually had a bucket sitting inside of it, and we would ferment, but inside the bucket.
Just kind of cover it up.
That thing is so heavy. Like I said, if like in the old days, I imagine that when they did that, they actually had that in the cellar, and they actually made the kraut in the cellar.
Because just left it there. Yeah,
you are not picking that thing up once it's
or stored. Use it just for the storage of things like that.
Yeah, because it's heavy. It's pretty heavy.
Yeah, I like to set nice things around to use. It's like you can do a lot of things with 5-gallon buckets. Like you can collect your compost with a 5-gallon bucket, but I like to use one of the little stainless steel kitchen pails with the charcoal top, has the filter in the top, and, they look nice. You can set them on the countertop, put your scraps in that, they cost a little bit of money, but you don't have a 5-gallon bucket sitting in your kitchen collecting food scraps. And, just same thing with sauerkraut or whatever. You can do it. I mean, if it's all about the budget and you don't care, do that. It's more important to do those things than not do those things, if just because you don't have something pretty to do it in. So yeah, I love it.
But if you know a homesteader that's using 5-gallon buckets, they might enjoy a gift of something pretty, like a fermenting crock.
Yep. Or a lot of them might think you're just wasting your money. You can just use a 5-gallon bucket. I don't need that fancy stuff. They might turn around and sell it after you give it to them.
Well, I mean, and you can. I mean, we use 5-gallon buckets, but we usually ferment in our basement where nobody sees
it. If it's something in my kitchen or something, it's nice if it can look nice. Yeah, I agree. Well, I guess we can move on to our topic for today. I think this is a time when a lot of people are really thinking about purchasing their seeds. They're thinking, okay, I'm going to plant out my garden. I got my garden plan all thought out here. I know what I need. Now, where do I go to get some good organic seeds for my homestead? And there's a few I like. I've bought from several over the years, and some of them I don't even buy it from now, but that's not because I don't think they're great. Maybe I've picked a different one for a different reason right now or whatever, or I've just gotten used to ordering from one company or, whatever.
Right,
but, there are some that maybe carry some seeds that others don't. So you'll have to go to those. There's a lot of reasons why I use a bunch of different companies over the years. And I haven't found too many that I just I'll never order from them again. Honestly, I mean, there's been a couple, but I think for the most part, I've had pretty good luck with most of the companies I've purchased from. And because I try to do a little bit of homework before I purchase from them. So if people are saying good things about them, I usually will buy from them, and I usually end up with the same experience. I can think of one company, and that's not on this list, that I had a bad experience with, but they actually went above and beyond to make it right. But they didn't make the list, but they could have. I would order from them again. They just didn't make this list because I haven't ordered from them for a long, long time. But I mean, they literally lost my order. And I was because it'd been like a month, and I hadn't heard nothing. I got any emails. Where is this? Where's the seed order at? And I got with them, and they're like, oh, we just found your order in a stack. And it was just like, okay, that's a little bit. And, they're not a big company, but they're big enough to where I was surprised they lost an order. And they did go above and beyond to make it right. They gave me a huge discount, and they sent it, overnighted it to me. And they went above and beyond. So I would have ordered from them again. I just didn't. I was using other companies in the later years. But
I haven't had too many bad experiences either. I've ordered from a lot of different companies. I think they're like everyone that you have on here. I have had seeds from, with maybe the exception of one.
I think the two you added a couple, two or three, and I think maybe one of them I haven't ordered from.
And for me, the big issue is, I mean, I really want I want the option of the organic heirloom, but also I want seed viability. I mean, you don't want to buy a bunch of seeds and then have them not sprout. So
right, and then just having options too. I mean, some seed companies. I mean, we're going to list some smaller companies on here, and you know what? They don't have the same kind of inventory as some of these larger companies as far as the availability of different kinds of seeds. And that's okay. You know, I mean, you can order from several different companies. You don't have to, but I do like supporting small companies, any opportunity I get. So if they have the things I want, I'm all about sending my money to them because I love supporting small family owned operations. I just think it's great. So I do that every opportunity I get. But so what? Let's just talk about a few things that we think makes a good seed company and why these things made our list. I think they need to recognize the importance of organic and heirloom seeds. And some of the big companies, I don't think put a lot of thought into that. They maybe sell some organic and heirloom seeds, but they do it more for a marketing ploy than because they really realize the importance of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that's important that they recognize that. And they have some of that in their documentation on their side of why it's important and why they're doing it. So I'll look for that. A good inventory is important. I mean, if they only sell 5 different things, they don't have one. I mean, it's not, I'd love to support them, but I need more than that. And it's, you know, it's just, and there are some companies out there that they're only selling maybe 4 or 5 or 6. I mean, really small. They're just homesteaders that put a few seeds up on our website. I'd love to, you know, and I'm not saying that that's bad. I mean, if you do that and you want to support somebody like that, but when I'm giving recommendations for people to these are good companies, you know, it's kind of like they need to be able to go there and get some seeds that they want to grow, you know, a big, you know, and get a lot. Maybe you've got a pretty large garden and you want to buy, you know, a couple hundred of this seed or whatever, and that might clean them out because that might be all they have. So they do need to have a fair sized inventory. And I think customer support, probably that's really important for me. Really important. I don't know if it's the most important thing, but it's really important because if there is a problem, do they take care of it? You know, or are they available when you do have a problem too? You know, and a lot of them have a lot of guarantees that they put on their seeds.
Yeah, and guarantees, and they'll tell you. A lot of them will place their germination rates even in their catalog.
I think that's
or
important.
Somewhere on their website.
Yeah. And I look for honesty. You know, you can read a lot of that, like when you'll read the descriptions of seeds, and they'll actually tell you these, you know, the germination rates on these are kind of low. This is a more difficult seed. I love it when I read stuff like that. I go, okay, now I'll buy those seeds from you, even though you say those come with a pretty low germination rate because of the type of seed it is. I would buy those because you were honest with me and you told me up front. And now my expectations are this. And I just love it when, you know, they're honest about it, you know, and they'll tell you that, or they don't just try to sell you things that won't even grow in your climate. They'll tell you these are things that will grow good in this climate and they won't grow good in this climate or whatever. I love that kind of honesty on a website, you know, when I read that. So I think that's important. And there's other things that I like about companies, but those to me are the most important things. I don't know if you have any other criteria that you look for a good organic seed company.
I think mine are really similar to that. I kind of like to grow different things. So that's why the couple of companies I added have a little bit of niche market on a few things. But for me, it's the same thing. I want a company that values organic and heirloom seeds. I think that it's really important that we value the breeding of those continuing.
Yes.
Because I mean, having seed, being able to save my own seed is really important to me. And you can't do that if you have a hybrid. I mean, that's a long
can. It's just you're going to get different plants, right? Yeah. Right.
You're going to get a different plant. But I value that a lot. To me, that is one of the most important things. And and then their honesty.
Yeah. I just love it that
honesty
they recognize
and integrity are just huge to me. You know, and like you and I'm ordering even more now, especially of cover crops and stuff with our property. So I need to be able to have some of that bulk, some of the bulk inventory. I don't want to buy a seed packet of clover when I have, a field to plant.
Yeah,
I
right.
want, some of
It's
that.
nice. And there's some that specialize in larger
Yeah, they
orders
do.
and, and I will buy from them for my large orders, but then, a lot of stuff, 1 or 2 seed packs is all you need. And that's great. You can get that from them too. So, but yeah, I mean, I think that's a good criteria for picking
over
your
the
seed
course
companies.
of a year, I will probably order. I don't just always order right in the spring. A lot of the times I end up making an order going, oh yeah, I'm going to order that. But I mean, over the course of my ordering every year, I probably order from 5 or 6 companies every year, if not more.
And I'll tell you the truth, I mean, I love supporting companies that are focused on just seeds. I love ordering from these particular companies, but I know a lot of homesteaders that just go down to their local feed store, their Walmart or whatever, and buy the seeds there, and they have successful gardens. You don't have to do this, but there is these companies will have a bigger focus on the heirloom. They will have a bigger focus on the importance and they'll have better customer support and things like that. So if all you can do is run down and buy the discount cheap seeds locally, but it'll get you a garden going, do that. I did that. I've done that back in the beginning and it worked out just fine. I had a garden, but as times went on, it's not just what I have, but where my money goes in support of things too is big for me. And I like to put my money in the right places and I like to get a good product for it as well. So,
yeah. And for me too, when you start getting into this and you start really getting into your homestead and enjoying it, you start getting these beautiful catalogs arriving.
I love the catalog. We'll talk about that too, getting the catalogs. Yeah.
So hard to say no to those and just go down to like your local hardware store and get them when you got those beautiful catalogs.
Right. Yeah. And some of these companies we're going to mention have some great catalogs. Some of them don't, and don't ignore those. Some of them just have an online catalog. Yep. Don't ignore that. I think that, like I said, buy from them. The only reason they don't do that is because they're small and they can't afford that. But they deserve your business. They're good companies. But those catalogs are great.
Yeah. And some of them, sustainability is really, really important to them. I mean, there's a couple, the one catalog at the end of this, it always comes in basically newspaper print. And they encourage you that if you get it, that you put it in your compost pile. Yeah.
And then there's one I know of in particular on this list. Their catalog is all glossy, shiny, pretty paper. It's probably one of the most beautiful catalogs. It's in the top 2, but it's glossy pages and whatnot. And it's not a sustainable, I mean, it's not something you're wanting to throw in your compost bin probably but
it is something I have handed to people as I'm like, here, take this home and look at it.
Or just leave it on your coffee table for people to browse through. I mean, it's that kind of a catalog.
Well, we might as well talk about it.
So beautiful.
The first one on your list.
It's one of them. Yeah. Baker Creek heirloom seeds is one. I would say most gardeners have heard of Baker Creek seeds. They're very popular with homesteaders, headquartered in Mansfield, Missouri. And they are truly recognized as one of the best seed companies out there by a lot of people. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of homesteaders that say that's where I get my seeds, and they're a great company. They really are. They started, they've been around a long time, back in 1998, and it was just a hobby. Started out for a hobby, just a hobby for them, and now they've grown to be one of the largest heirloom seed companies in the United States with over 1,000 heirloom varieties. And that's a lot of varieties.
As I say, they have quite a selection.
Yeah, they're big, and their website is great. It's just packed full of great information. But catalogs, they have 2 catalogs. They have a free catalog, which is definitely worth getting. It's a great catalog, but they actually have one you can buy. And by the way, we won't worry about like saying what the links are. The links will be in the show notes. So come and I'll have a link. If they have their website link, and then also if they offer a free catalog, I'll have the link to get to request their free catalogs. But Baker Creek has a free one and a paid catalog. I'll tell you, their paid catalog's worth getting though. It's beautiful. It is. It'll inspire you to garden. That catalog alone will inspire you.
They must have a full-time photographer. The photos
it's amazing. Yeah.
It's pretty. And I have had really good success in germination rates from this company.
Yeah, you and I were actually talking about, you had talked to somebody
last year I saw a lot of posts online of people complaining about their germination rates.
But I bought some seeds last year and I didn't have any problem.
I didn't either.
Yeah,
I
they
bought
did
seeds
great.
from them. I
Yeah.
think I've probably bought seeds from them every year for the last 10
Mhm.
years. At least more than once a year, even.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
So
their shipping is really affordable too. And I just love their seeds, and I've saved several of the seed varieties that I have gotten from them. I have I think it's a provider bean, maybe, that I have from them. And I have a corn that I've saved from them. And it's been
and just
wonderful.
an amazing variety. I mean, like I said, so many things you won't be able to find anywhere else. You'll probably find at Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds, because they have so many odd things available, and just some stuff that, I mean, that maybe you weren't even thinking that you wanted, but you'll spin through their catalog and you'll go, I want that. I need that now. All of a sudden, I didn't need that before, but now I need it.
One of my impulse purchases from them was this little teddy bear sunflower. It's called Teddy Bear, and it's really
I actually bought those.
Fluffy.
Yeah.
That was the most I got.
Well, I would tell you, and I'm going to be fair about this. I bought those, planted them. I thought they would look different based on the pictures.
Okay.
They weren't as fluffy as I thought the pictures looked. I grew them a couple years ago, and I got to admit, I see where they took the pictures at a certain angle, but looking at them head on, they did not look like that. They looked more like a traditional sunflower.
Yeah. Well, I've said before, my garden kind of gets attention from the road. So I actually had a lot of people comment on
it. They look nice. They're beautiful.
And I'm like, they're a sunflower because they're little squatty and they're
they were beautiful flowers, but I don't think they quite, I don't think that the actual flower was exactly what I expected from the picture that I seen in the catalog. So, okay, does that fall out of the honesty side a little bit? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But I was a little disappointed because I thought they would look a little bit different than what they actually came out looking. But they were beautiful. They were beautiful flowers, and then the bees loved them. And I guess that's the important thing.
They have dozens and dozens of like tomatoes and peppers and sunflowers and corn.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some things they have less of. For a while, they had less herbs. Now they seem to be getting more and more herbs and more.
Yeah, they're really getting some variety there that they never even got into before. And great thing is, it's heirloom seeds. You know, you can save your own seeds.
Yep.
And if you want to do that, and your order will go down every year as far as what you're going to need when you start saving your own seeds. And I mean,
technically it's supposed to, but it hasn't stopped me.
Yeah, I just find other things to purchase. So yeah, you're right. But yeah, I mean, they're a great company, and I don't even think we needed to mention them because everybody knows about them pretty much, I think, in the homesteading realm. But if you just want a one-stop shop where you're going to be able to get everything you want, they got it. I'm pretty sure they got what you want. So
I can't remember. Did they sell potato and onion sets?
I believe so. Yeah,
okay.
I think
I couldn't remember.
I don't generally get them from there, but I believe they do. I don't know. I look at so many seed catalogs. I can't.
I know
be for sure, but
together.
Yeah, they do. We have so many. I have a stack. You know, I have a stack right here behind me somewhere, like right there on that shelf. There's a stack right there.
Mine's at my table in the living room.
Yeah. The second one that we're going to mention is Seed Savers Exchange. Great company. They're founded in 1975. So we're talking a long tradition of seeds here. So they know what they're doing. It's on 890 scenic acres, 20,000 different varieties of heirloom and open pollinated.
I didn't realize
plants.
they had that many.
That's amazing. That's a lot.
That is amazing.
They are really heavily focused on preserving. I mean, when I was talking earlier about people who companies that realize the importance of heirloom seeds, this is a company that gets that. They're
serious.
Yeah. I mean, just as something from their website, we can only preserve heirloom seeds through active stewardship. If we don't use them, if we don't allow them to grow again, they become lost. They realize how important that is, and they make that a big part of their belief system, and why they do what they do. They're just big on plant biodiversity and protecting those plants.
Great.
Yeah,
their website has a lot of great education on it, because that is the importance for them. The purpose behind their company is seed saving. Their website has a lot of really valuable information on that.
Yeah. They're just huge. Nice website, great catalog. It's not the kind of catalog like you would get from Baker's Creek, but it's a nice catalog.
It is.
And and it's definitely worth having on your. I don't think I order a ton from them, and I don't order from every year, but I have ordered from them
one
in the
of the
past.
things I like about them is their seed packets.
Yeah,
The way
Yeah.
they're made, like I don't know if it's mylar.
Well-
They have a like a Ziploc top.
yeah,
on
yeah,
them, and
yeah.
they're just really nice. I like the paper ones, but at the same time, those ones are really nice because you never lose your seed back out of it. But
Yeah, it's almost like Mylar.
yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. It's foil of some
Yeah,
kind. But
yeah. It's
you know what's interesting? I don't know if you have Tractor Supply down there, but
We do.
last year
Yeah.
Tractor Supply had Seed Savers exchange seeds.
Did they? Okay, I never noticed
Very
that.
few,
Yeah.
but they had some. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, links again for their website and their to request a catalog. And yeah, worth getting. It's another one worth having. This next one is probably the first online seed company I ever ordered from. I think they were the
Okay.
first one I ever bought seeds from online. I mean, before that, it was like run down to Ace Hardware or the Walmart and buy them, and that's just how I was doing it. But the first time I ever put a seed order in, it was with Johnny's Selected Seeds.
Yeah.
And they have
They're
a great
big company.
and a great catalog. This is another one that rivals Baker Creek. I think it's a really good catalog.
They have so much information packed into such
Yes.
a small space in this catalog. It is, you could literally sit and read this like a book for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The founder started saving seeds in his farmhouse attic in 1973. He's been doing it a while.
Love it.
Now it's headquarters up in Maine, and they got 100 full-time employees.
That's wow.
It's a pretty good sized company. They're doing some big things there.
Especially for seeds. Yeah.
And I just love their catalog. And I was telling you earlier about like catalogs that aren't real compostable. That's one. It's like the glossy paper, shiny pictures, pretty, but it is beautiful. I mean, and that's the thing. It's like I'm a little bit of a hoarder with seed catalogs. Like I've got old seed catalogs floating around on my bookshelf. That one's probably
Same
one
here.
that just stays there almost like a book. It's like a book up there. So you end up hanging on to it
Well,
for some
and-
reason. You get one every year, but yet you still hang on to the old ones for some reason.
Yeah, this catalog actually has a lot more than just seeds in it too. I mean, some
Yeah.
of these catalogs are
Information,
mostly
yeah.
seeds, but they have information, but they also have, the products
Yeah.
to support season
Mhm.
extension and stuff
Yep.
like that.
Yeah, you can buy you can buy all your supplies, your row
Yep.
cover and your things like. I mean, you just get stuff
It's like one
and tools.
stop shop there.
Yep, yeah, they have a lot of stuff. It's a big company, and
Yeah.
I've always had good
Yes.
good
They're
luck
big.
with the germination rates of their seeds. Good stuff.
Right. And they offer some hybrid seeds too. that
Yeah,
are
and
not your-
I order hybrid seeds. I mean,
Yeah, so
I
do I.
always
So do
plant
I.
some hybrid tomatoes in case you have a really bad blight year or something like
Exactly.
that. I always do, just because
like
it's
the
like
idea-
security,
Yeah, it is. I
Yeah.
like the idea behind heirloom, but sometimes those hybrid, which is not the same as GMO,
Yeah.
sometimes those hybrid they're bred sometimes to avoid specific diseases that are
Yeah, they're just more
Growing.
resilient for certain
Yeah.
things, and so yeah, I'm not against hybrids in any way, shape,
oh
or
me
form.
either.
The next one is Fedco seeds.
I
Been a
like
while
the
since
catalog. It's a little whimsical.
it is.
but-
It's a art project.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it's a neat little catalog. Very compostable, I would say.
Very
It's a-
compostable, but there's
yeah.
lots of whimsical art in it.
It is. It
Let's put
is.
that way. It's kind of, I don't know if I can describe it, but you'll kind of like a fairy carrying a tomato would not
Right.
be out of the realm of
Exactly. It is like I said,
artwork in
it's an
there.
art project. It is. And
Yeah.
and they do really kind of focus on cold hardy varieties. They're located up in
Yes.
Maine.
Yes.
And when I say varieties, I'm not talking just about garden plants. They also have divisions for of course they have the seeds. They also have potatoes, onions, exotics, and trees, bulbs. I mean,
Yeah.
they're doing a lot of things. They also have like garden supplies. So they're doing a lot of stuff, but it's they have a really heavy focus on cold climate stuff. So you're in the colder climates, if you're in the upper, East Coast, or if you're like where you are in Michigan, I would
Yeah.
say their seeds would be very ideal.
I order a lot of their seeds, and
I have not put an order in with them for a long time,
Okay, yeah.
and I should, because I think they're a good company, and some things might work good here on some of their stuff.
Yeah.
Been around since 1978, so they've been around a while. They know what they're doing. It's actually the company is owned 60% by the consumers of the cooperative.
That's like a co-op type.
Yeah, and the worker members own 40%. That's interesting. I mean, so they're they're a shared company, in the co-op, which is neat. So, people have maybe a little bit more pride in what they do there because of that, I would say.
Yeah. And
That
I mean, it's
happens.
a catalog that's not going to have colorful pictures for you to be able to tell
Yeah,
what the
it's
variety looks like. I would say
hand-drawn
that's
stuff
kind of a
and
down
yeah,
side of it.
but it's neat. It's neat. Yeah.
And theirs is the same way. There's lots of information in it. It's a big read if you want to, read about the variety and
Yeah,
stuff.
but they absolutely it's a free catalog. It's worth sending,
Yep.
getting on your shelf. I think it's one worth looking at, and especially like I said, if you're in the colder climates, I think it'd be a great place to order maybe a majority of your seeds, trees, potatoes, onions, all those things from, because they're going to be focused on that more than some other companies because of where they're located. So, and that they claim that this is what we kind of specialize in,
Right. Yep.
So, get there. Well, the links will be in the show notes for that company as well. The next one is one that have you ever ordered from them?
I'm not sure if I've ordered from them, but I do have their catalog.
Yeah, I think I ordered once from them, and I get their catalog
some
every
nice
year.
cover crops,
and it's always one of the first catalogs I get. It's like one that pops in first. I don't know why. It just seems like it's always the first one I get. Nice catalog though. Yeah. This company's been around since 1996. It started with just 28 varieties grown in his backyard. That's special. It was cool. Started out as a small company. Yeah. So that makes you want to support a company like that. It's grown from something small to now over 700 heirloom, open pollinated and hybrid varieties of vegetable, fruit, herb, and flower seeds. So decent sized company, nice inventory. 700 is a nice number.
It's a nice catalog too.
Yeah, nice catalog. Very professionally done catalog. I mean, it's really nice. It's probably up there in the top 5 of the catalogs that you will probably get as far as the way it looks and stuff. Nice catalog.
And if I remember right, they have quite a few. He really encourages cover crops, and so there's a variety in there. Even for small growers, he encourages cover crops.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, and they're really focused on. I think that their mission is really focused on the health of your plants. They talk a lot about that on their website. Rebuilding food systems. He's big on just making sure that we have healthy environments, healthy economies, healthy communities, and healthy bodies. I got that right from their website. Good stuff. It's a good focus to have for a plant company. It is. I like that.
I like supporting that. I should probably buy some.
Yeah. I should probably, just reading that makes me go, yeah, I've ordered from them once or twice a long time ago. And I should probably, this year might be the year. I might be talking myself out of a lot of money this year because I'm like, oh, I should support that company and I should support that company. And I, might end up buying like 5 or 6 things from every company just to kind of sling my support around. You know what I mean? But they have great, I remember great service, great customer service, great seeds, never had any issues with them, and great catalog. Like I said, always the first one I get every year, I do believe. So I'll have their information in the show notes as well. Territorial Seed Company, located in Cottage Grove, Oregon. Been around since 1985. Yeah.
I get this one in the mail too.
Yeah, good. Yeah, they got a nice catalog too. And I think again, this is Upper West Coast. So, I would think that I think it's important and could be a good idea just because of a company is growing their plants in the area you live in. If you live in that area, it's a little bit of a different climate. So it might be a good idea to really support a company that's in your climate, because for one, you're supporting locally, your businesses, but also you're going to get seed that is, it's been bred and acclimated to your climate, and it's probably going to do better in your area. So I think that's important. And so I just think that's a good idea. So it's a company that's up there in that area, might be a good one to support just because of that. I have bought seeds from them though, here that did well.
I have too.
And I think they have a great mission statement too that says pretty much everything you need to know about this company. It says our purpose is to improve people's self-sufficiency and independence by enabling gardeners to produce an abundance of good tasting, fresh, from the garden food 12 months a year.
Yeah, I
That
love that statement.
I do too. 12 months a year. I mean, so they're focusing on things that you could grow indoors or in pots, or, you know, stuff that's cold hardy, you know, in that for that location. I mean, yeah, they're
Well,
really
and even the
focused on
first
that.
part, just the self-sufficiency and
And
the
independence.
independence.
Yeah.
I just love that.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, that they see that that's what this is about for a lot of us.
I also noticed that they're known for excellent customer service, so much so that they actually have a full 100% satisfaction guarantee when it comes to their seeds. That's, you can't take that lightly.
Unheard of. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty big. So that's they're putting a lot of emphasis on just how much how much faith they have in their seeds and in their company to satisfy the customer. And that's good. I mean, I like that. They have a great catalog with great information, you know, so I mean, it's worth getting their catalog and flipping through there. And if you want to support a company that has that kind of a mission statement, and I think especially if you're in that zone, in that area, in that climate, yeah, I definitely support them. I think it'd be a great company.
Yeah, they're probably a zone or two warmer than we are just because of the ocean. I guess depending on where you're at in Oregon.
Yeah, for sure. The next one, I've definitely ordered seeds from them a few times.
See, I haven't. Because
you haven't ordered from Southern Exposure Seed Company. Yeah. Southern Exposure Seed Company, because they are located in Virginia. You know, they definitely a little bit of a different climate for me and you, more so you. But they produce all of their seeds through natural methods, 99% of which are open pollinated. And they also have a 100% satisfaction guaranteed, ensuring great seeds and great customer service. You can't take that lightly, you know?
No, you can't.
For a company that's been around since 1982 also and doing that. So
yeah, that open pollinated is that's pretty wild.
Yeah, 99%. Open pollinated. So I like their approach to being forthcoming about seed germination rate. Germination tests are performed in their own facility, and they print the results right on the packet that you receive, so that you know what you're getting.
That's pretty transparent.
I like the transparency a lot. Yeah, that's one of the things I was saying about honesty. I love that because it's nothing's saying 100%. Nothing's probably even 99%. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe some seeds are that good, but if it's not, they're going to tell you because they do the tests right there and they know what they got. And then, I think that says a lot about them. To have that kind of transparency. And I think that's a good company right there to do business with. And they have a seed catalog also that you can put on your shelf and grab and flip through. And boy, wintertime's just a great time for that. Do you find yourself in your seed catalogs a lot in the wintertime?
I try to make myself wait till after Christmas, but now that that's gone, I'm like itching. That's why they're sitting right in my living room, right at my table.
I have them on coffee tables and end tables, and when I sit down next to them, it's like I can't help but reach over and grab it, start flipping through them. It's just a thing I do. I love having those seed catalogs around, and it's just amazing that they're free.
My seed orders though, because it's like
Oh yeah. I have notepads and I'll write down things, or I'll circle things, and then I'll go back and I don't order everything I circle, of course, but it's not. It's kind of like your dream book, you write, oh, I'd love to have that, and then maybe you forget to go back to it, but it's just nice to dream and circle things and occasionally put the orders in, so we're going to start getting into companies that they're smaller. Some of these companies we're going to talk, I mean, some of them we still got a couple on here that are still bigger, but
one of them's growing.
This next one is a nice company. A lot of people know about them. They're doing a great job. That's M.I. Gardner. I first didn't even know they had a seed company. The first time I ever heard of them, I found their YouTube channel.
Yeah,
and there's a great YouTube channel. He's sharing lots of tips and tricks about growing things and planting things, and just shares a lot of good stuff on his YouTube channel. Great channel. I'll put the link to their YouTube channel in the show notes also. His name's Luke.
He does one almost every day. He does a small update on YouTube.
Obviously, M.I. Gardner's Michigan. He's in Michigan. So, I mean, you want to support local business. Yeah. Yeah. He's right where you're at. And they're expanding. Like he's growing. His popularity has grown a lot. Yeah. So they've been expanding and growing pains. And, but yeah. And they are a small company, but they do have a pretty nice, variety of seeds, a good inventory of seeds. very affordable also. And where
Yeah,
it
they
kind
are
of,
affordable.
and here's where you kind of see the line drawn between these super big companies and a smaller company. They have an online catalog. So you're not going to get a fancy little catalog to stick on your end table at this time, but it's a really great online catalog. You can go through it and browse it really easily, put your order in, really affordable stuff. And a lot of the stuff you're going to want to grow in your garden. And again, he's doing this in a northern climate. So if you're in, I would say if you're in that zone, even down into my zone, these seeds are going to do well, really well in that area. And super likable guy too.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the reason I started watching his YouTube. Yeah.
They're getting more and more variety. And they recently last year opened an actual what do you call it? Physical store.
Yeah.
Where it was all mostly online, and now I think this year you can actually go and but they have a few things online besides their seeds, but not a lot. It's mostly a seed company.
Yeah. He's just got a passion for it. The guy's just got a him and his wife have a passion for seeds. Yeah. I mean, so much so that I remember a couple of years ago they were doing. Oh no, I just popped a thing out of my glasses. There we go. I had to fix my glasses. So much so that I remember a couple of years ago, he had found these seeds online. He bought some old tomato seeds that were like decades old in a packet. And they were basically I can't even remember the variety it was, but it was basically an extinct variety of tomato. Yes. And he brought them, he actually planted them and got a couple of them to germinate. And I believe now you can actually buy those seeds on his website. Yeah. He actually started getting them going, and it's just a passion for rejuvenating these old seeds, these old plants, and I love that. Oh, it is, because you can tell when he's doing his videos, he's just excited about these seeds, and these plants, and I love that.
Last year too, and then he brewed coffee from his coffee bean tree. I mean, he's just
that's
passionate.
Great. Yeah, he is a homesteader, gardener. And he's just passionate about it. And
suburban too. They do not have a huge backyard.
Well, yeah, and he doesn't do it all though. I think he does some at another property.
Yes.
Yeah, that he grows a lot of seeds there. So he's doing it, but I mean he's expanding, and like you said, he's getting bigger. Now they have an actual physical location, and but I love that for him too, because he has such a passion for it. You just love to see a person who has that kind of energy in a space get successful, but you look at all these bigger companies.
I would drive to go see his little place.
You could.
I should do it. It'd be fun.
But you look at all these seed companies we mentioned before, and all these guys always started it in his attic or he started his garage. I mean, all these companies started out that way. So I could see in my gardener being a Baker Creek one day. Probably. I could absolutely see him being that one day, a huge company. But I mean, I absolutely support him. They got some great stuff. And I have the links to his website and online catalog in the show notes. So good stuff there. The next one's a little bit bigger company. They do have a catalog, and it's So True Seed. And I think I've ordered from them one time and had good experience. They've been around. They were founded in 2008. So it's not a company that's been around a long time. Well, isn't it funny you say that, and then you go, wait a minute, 2008 was quite a while ago.
It was.
It doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but I guess it was. But yeah, founded then and based in Asheville, North Carolina. So again, you may not, for you up in Michigan, the seed, it might be more of a southern, even North Carolina. It's probably good for me, maybe not as good for you, as far as if you're wanting to get something more acclimated to your climate. But North Carolina is not that different from my climate. But they work with farmers in their area to ensure the survival of heirloom varieties that would otherwise become extinct. And I love that. I mean, they put that on their website. They put a lot into their beliefs and their convictions, and they put those into action. And they give discounts to like school gardens, and they donate seeds to programs that support their communities. And they offer free garden education and harvest donation programs. They're really, they're just really big and active in their communities, and I love that. And they're just big on expanding, gardens, and just seeing it. People plant gardens and eat healthier, and they're really against this infiltration of GMO seeds. which
Right.
I just love what they're standing for. They're doing some great things. And I believe in supporting a company like that. So now I've sat here and talked myself into putting in an order with So True Seed again this year,
Yeah,
because I just read that.
Broke, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, I think I might spend just a little bit more money than normal, but I might just spread it out a little bit, and try to support companies like that, because I just love that. I love what they're doing. And, I just think you should if you're able, you should support a company that you believe. If your beliefs align, you should support a company like that. So, great stuff from them. And the next one is one that I've been around for quite a while. Mary's Heirloom Seeds.
Yeah, I've ordered a few things.
What's funny about Mary at Mary's Heirloom Seeds is I actually had her on this podcast back in, like, I think the first year I did this podcast, and I didn't actually interview her, but what I was doing is I was doing these segments on the podcast where I was having people come on and I'd give them a topic and then say, you want to record it, send it in, I'll put it on the podcast. And she did this segment on the difference between GMO, hybrid, and heirloom seeds. And I'll put a link to that. It's really good. She really breaks down the difference and what it is. She clearly explains what it is and why, what GMO is, whether you hate it or love it, just what it is. She just kind of gives an overview of what it is, what hybrid is, and why it's not necessarily bad, but it's not heirloom, and what heirloom is. And she sells heirloom seeds.
It's a good information to know, and it can be confusing. So,
yeah, it can be. It can be. Yeah, especially the people get between the GMO and the hybrid. People get really.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah, they start thinking all hybrid's bad, because they think of GMO, but it's not GMO. So it's just different. It can be, I guess, but it's not necessarily GMO. But it's a great episode with great education if you want to listen to that. But she has got some really good high quality products. But I tell you what I've come to appreciate about her lately is her YouTube channel. She has been doing some great little live.
She had a YouTube
She
channel.
does. And I don't know if I have a link to it. I don't have a link to it in these notes here. I'll add the link to the show notes because I've been watching her. She does lives. She's been coming on like once a week or something, doing a live, but I've been trying to catch it. And I've caught a few of them live. And she just answers questions live. And it's pretty cool. But she's out in the garden usually.
I want to find her.
She's usually out in the garden doing something a lot of times when she's doing these lives. And it's just, and she's down south. I think she's in, she moved. And I think she's in, I want to say she's in Texas now, but I can't remember exactly. But she's down south anyway. So she's still able to get outside and do things. So, but yeah, she's a very likable lady, and it's a smaller company. She's absolutely a smaller company, but great service. I'm actually an affiliate for her seeds. I love her little company so much that I'm an affiliate for her. But if you believe in supporting small businesses, she's a worthy one to support. She has some great seed varieties, and she's just really big on educating people. And that's what she does on her YouTube channel. She's kind of like Luke at My Gardener in a lot of ways. She gets on there, she shows what she's doing, she talks about them, and she's just got such a passion for heirloom seeds that it's another person that's contagious in that way. And it's fun to watch her and listen to her. And, man, I want to try to get her back on the podcast. I bet she'd come on. She's a really likable person, and I think you should support her business. Again, no catalog that you're going to stick on your coffee table, but that's okay. She's got a great website. She offers some like seed packages where it's like, you'll buy a whole package of seeds that cover kind of like all the things you'd want to plant for a home gardener. Yeah. So she's got some great stuff like that. And, give her some support. I think she's a great company. I have a link in the show notes for her as well. The next one's one I talk about quite a bit, but not, I've mentioned them quite a bit, but not in the sense of just buying like seed packets for my garden. Where I buy seeds from True Leaf Market is this company. True Leaf Market is I use them for bulk orders for like cover crops, and also use them for bulk orders on my microgreens. That's where I feel like they shine. They just shine. They do have a huge variety though of just seeds for your garden, just packets of seeds for your garden, but they have great deals on cover crops and microgreen seeds. I mean, I just think most companies charge you a lot more for bulk orders like that. And they seem like they have very affordable, orders for these bigger, like 1 pound, 5 pound bags of seeds that you want for like cover crops or even microgreens. So I love that about them. And they got great seeds. They just seem to grow great. The microgreen seeds, I've had super good luck with them, and even the cover crop seeds, I've just had great luck with their seeds. So I think that their prices
I have not ordered
are
from
great.
them yet, but since you've been mentioning them, I probably will place an order this year,
Yeah,
especially for
yeah.
cover crops.
Yeah, I think they're great for that, and just sprouting and microgreens. I think they're great also. But I don't think you'll be disappointed in them. They don't have, surprisingly, they're a pretty large company, but they don't have, as far as I can tell, they don't have a catalog that they'll mail to you. So you have to go to their website to order
Right.
everything. But they're a big company. I mean, they're a very large company, and I feel like they got high quality seeds, and I feel like bulk is their really where they shine in the bulk orders. So if you're
Okay.
looking for bulk orders of seeds, it's a great one to go with, I think. So. Now this other one that I mentioned is, now I've known about him for a long time. I think I became an affiliate last year with I can't even remember now. I think I'm an affiliate for this company, Seeds for Generations, and it's truly a family run business. When I say family, it's Jason and Shannon Matthias, are the owners. And when I say family, I mean, they got their kids, they got like a few kids, and they're out there working out there with them, getting these seeds. And it's 100% heirloom, open pollinated seeds on their site, as well as some gardening products. And they have an online catalog, not one for your coffee table, but an online one. And it's fair sized inventory for a company that's just a family. It's just husband and wife and their kids out there doing it, which is why I love it. It's, again, I'm all about supporting these smaller businesses. I think that they are passionate about giving you high quality seeds. Located, I think, down south. So, they're not going to have maybe the ideal seeds for some folks that are up northern climates, but great people, great philosophy or belief system around seeds and the importance of heirloom seeds. So I think they're one worthy of supporting with your money. So seedsforgenerations.com is their site, and great people. Yeah. Everything I've ever seen come from them, just really good stuff. Let's get into some of these that you added. Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
I've heard of them. I've never ordered from them.
I have ordered from them for the past probably 4 years. I really like their products. It's called Strictly Medicinal. I noticed this year that they must have expanded because now they're being offered through a few herb companies. Their focus, and they were started in 1985 by the Czech family. And it's also, this is another one that's out of Oregon. Mm-hmm. But their focus is really on a lot of herbs. Specifically medicinal herbs.
Okay. So just strictly medicinal. Herbs, it makes sense. That's their name.
Strictly medicinal. But they do, they sell some culinary herbs like basil and stuff, but their focus really is on the medicinal qualities of herbs. So their quality of their product is, I feel like it's just outstanding. Their seeds that they collect, they rely a lot on the community to help them harvest and send them out. When they do send them out, they do a lot of education on their website on how to, process the herbs to make tinctures and stuff. Because like I said, it's very much focused on herbalism. Which I'm developing a lot more interest in. I'm wanting to dive a lot deeper into that for sure. Me too. And they do sell some plants, not just seeds. And they do sell some bulk seeds. You can become an affiliate with them. So anyways, but I just really, one of the plants that I first purchased from them was a plant called ashwagandha. A lot of people
never heard of it.
It's an adaptogen that a lot of people use in the herbal world, and a lot of naturopaths use. Our functional medical doctor actually turned us onto it, and it's just been an amazing herb for my husband with his I don't want to get into politics here, but with my husband had long haul. We'll say that without using the other word, just because. But my husband had long haul, and ashwagandha was huge in helping him recover from that. But they also sell things like flax. They sell a breed of pumpkin that has the green seeds. Like if you buy pumpkin seeds that are shelled, they're green. Mm-hmm. They actually have an heirloom pumpkin that actually has like a hulless seed that's a lot easier to digest. They just have some really interesting.
Yeah, sounds like it. I definitely.
There. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I'm definitely, like I said, I've gotten a lot more into herbs. I actually bought the area beside my house where I have several raised beds. My goal last year was to turn that entirely into herb garden and then focus on my vegetable garden out on my side yard. And so I have like 5 decent sized raised beds right there. And I was wanting to do all herbs there. Well, I bought these herb seeds last year that were horrible. I don't even know what company it was. I actually just bought them. I think I bought them I was like going them variety packs on Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
I think I had maybe 2 out of, I mean, I think there was like 16 or 18 variety different things in there. And I think only 2 of them even done anything. Right. And the rest was bare. I ended up throwing some vegetables in there later because nothing was coming up.
Right.
And so this year, you know what? It makes me think I ought to get with this company, get my herbs from them because they're more focused on, they're going to have a higher quality product. And because I really do have a dream of making that the herb garden, you know, right beside my house in these raised beds. So I think, now that you're talking a little bit about them, might be good. Yeah.
I could be pronouncing it wrong, and I'm not going to attempt his wife's name, but his name, I believe, is Rico. And he's the owner, and he just has he has an abundance of knowledge. He's written several books that are on my wish list to purchase. And
you ought to add those into the show notes so people can check out those books.
I will. And he just has this knowledge on herbs as medicine. And so the quality of their seeds is geared toward herbs as medicine.
Yeah, like I said, I've heard of this company. I've never put any research into them or anything and never ordered from them, but definitely sounds like one I'd like to work with for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, like I said, they have some really interesting seed. Ashwagandha is something that's kind of hard to find. This seed is, and they had it. They had 2 varieties even. So, which I grew, even though it's more of a warm plant. I did grow that the last few years and have saved seeds, and it's grown beautiful. I've had no problems with germination.
Do they have a catalog or anything?
They do have a catalog. It is more of your black and white paper.
Okay. But they do have a catalog you can request. Okay.
Yep, they do. And then my next one was Victory Seeds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I believe I've ordered with them before. I know I've been to their site. I'm pretty sure I put an order in with them before. Yeah.
Yeah. And one of theirs, you know, similar to another company that we talked about, one of their mission is open pollinated heirloom varieties, giving people, you know, victory seeds. They want people to have the opportunity for being self-sustainable that's kind of their mission statement with their company. They have an open source seed initiative. They talk about it on their website. I'm trying to remember. I did not, when we did these notes, look up what year that they
Well, that's all right. I just had that in there.
But, you know, Elliot Coleman has used their seeds.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if he's using them, you know, they're good.
Yeah. And one of the things they specialize in, which I know our listeners is going to find interesting that I grow this, but is tobacco. They have several varieties. I mean,
so they're more, are they northern based?
That's what
if Elliot Coleman's using them, I'm thinking they probably are.
Probably.
Because he's northern based.
Although tobacco isn't typically a northern.
Yeah, you're right. Tobacco would be more southern crop. So.
Southern, but I actually grow tobacco. It is absolutely a beautiful plant.
Yeah. And I mean, it has a lot of, I mean, everybody just thinks about smoking it, but I mean, it has a lot of qualities for like bug,
pest control.
And yeah.
Yeah. And they recently won a very large award for All American Selections Award for a lot of their seeds. And so it's just a really good company. I enjoy it. They also have the foil packed seed packets, which I like. And tobacco actually traditionally was used to worm animals.
Yeah. I think there could probably be a whole episode done on tobacco uses. Growing tobacco uses. Yeah, there's a lot.
So that's one of the things that's like one of they actually have a whole section of that. That's like one of their specialty sections is tobacco.
Yeah, I've learned a little bit more about them. I said where they're based or whatever. I'd like to learn a little bit more about them.
Vegetables and flowers and herbs. And so they have a pretty good selection. And they're non-GMO also.
Do they have a catalog? Because I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I've done business with them before.
I do not think they do.
Smaller company, so probably not. Yeah, but get their website on there, so you go check out their online catalog.
Yeah, I think it's all online.
Yeah. Okay.
They have, they're affordable. They're not overly expensive. They have quite a wide variety of different seeds there. So those are one of my favorites. All of those companies, except for a couple of them I've ordered from. So
yeah, me too. I think there's two or three, two on this list. Maybe I am. Well, maybe just one. Maybe just Strictly Medicinal might be the only one I've never ordered from. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, he
also has. I just found out when you were talking about YouTube. I did not know this, so I went and subscribed while we were sitting here. He has a YouTube channel.
Strictly Medicinal.
Yeah.
I did not know
that. So,
we'll have a link in the show notes as well. These are some great companies. Now, there are probably some really great companies out there that didn't make our list, and that's just because we don't have any experience with them. We've not dealt with them, and we don't know about them. Maybe so maybe there are others. You can go to the comments in the on the website. redemptionpermaculture.com. And, if you've got one that you've dealt with, you've had great experiences with, drop a note in the comments, and love to make it, people could, browse through the comments and see some other great companies. These are our picks because we have used them, most of them, or we've heard good things about them, or it's just kind of like they're popular companies that, a lot of people have had great experiences with one of those three probably. But I'm sure there's some other great, especially small family-owned seed companies out there that we just don't know about. But that's not to say I wouldn't love to know about them. I mean, there's one here in Indiana that I have ordered. I can't remember the name of it. The Urban Farmer, I think it's called, or something like that. And they have a seed company, and I've ordered from them one time, and I can't remember a lot of the details, and it was a while back. But so there's a lot of companies that probably didn't make this list that we've dealt with before that we just didn't think of. But there's other companies out there, just do, if you got some that, don't stop. If you've got a great company you're working with and you're supporting, you don't have to drop them to go, do business with one of these because we think these are better. They may not be. You might have a great company there, but tell us about them. We might want to know about them. They might have some stuff we're interested in. So drop a comment and so we can check them out. But these are ones that we've used or just heard good things about in the past. So yeah, that's our list.
Yep, not conclusive, but it is. Every year I order from just about all these. So
yeah, I've been seeing a lot of questions lately about people who's like, what about trees and shrubs? And we maybe ought to do an episode on some companies,
wrote that down.
Yeah, because there's been I've had a lot of questions lately about that. People saying, where do you get your berry bushes? Where do you get your fruit trees and things like that?
I probably ordered $700 worth of trees and shrubs and stuff for our orchard.
And it's a good time to really start thinking about the order. They're probably not going to ship them yet. I mean, it's going to be like early spring before they ship them.
You can order now though, and then they ship according to your zip code.
So we'll try to get a list together on those and maybe do an episode on that here in the next few weeks and try to get that out. Cause I think like I said, now's the time as you're planning your gardens and planning your food forests or whatever you're putting in. This is the time to really start thinking about getting those orders, what you're going to order written down, find the companies you're going to order from and start placing those orders. Cause we don't know what the future holds. And maybe there's going to be a shortage on certain seeds or whatever, and get them while you can. And there may not be a shortage. Don't say, oh, I better order because he said there's going to be a shortage. I don't know that. No. I've never experienced having a trouble getting the seeds I want to get.
Right.
I never have. That's not to say that there won't be a problem with that. And if we were going to experience that, I'm thinking in the last 2 or 3 years, probably is when it would have happened, because there was some panic in 2020.
Typically these companies have only so much inventory. So if you wait till June or July,
that could be the case. I don't usually wait that long.
Yeah. You're not going to have the variety either.
That's true. That's true.
They only have, seeds take a whole year. Sometimes some seeds take a couple of years to get out of a plant. So,
and there's no doubt most of these companies, you're probably going to pay just a little bit more than what if you ran down to Walmart and bought a pack of seeds. Yeah. But I think they're a little bit higher quality seed. And I think they're, they stand for things that are better than what some of these other companies. Sure. I mean, you might go down and buy the burpee seeds at Walmart, and you know what? You might end up with an absolutely fantastic garden from that. I have before. I know they work, but if that's all you can do, go do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to put in and spend a lot of money online.
Well, and there's some of us might have options like of some local co-ops and local tree companies.
Yep. And you know what? Supporting local is great. Yeah. If
Yeah.
you can support the people locally, you might be a homesteader down the road from you who's selling seeds, because he's out there. You support them. I would say definitely pick them. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Because that money's going to stay in your community. You may even be able to barter with them. I mean, there's way better ways to do this than get online and do it. So yeah, there's some great options out there. So, well, I think that's about it. What do you think, Rachel?
I think that's right.
We covered quite a bit. So, folks, we appreciate you joining us today. Hope you got something from it. And until the next episode, happy homesteading. God bless.
And grow where you're planted.
Looking around, I finally see I think I need a change. The rat race I wanna flee, my world I'll rearrange. I'm getting back to the roots of how it's meant to be. Growing gardens, picking fruit, racing livestock, living free. It's a modern homestead. Build a modern homestead. A lot of folks don't understand why I wanna live this way. They've never eaten from their land like we do here every day. Snapping beans like Grandma did, sitting on her front porch. Hunting and fishing like a kid once you've done all of your chores. It's a modern homestead. Build a modern homestead. Country or city, there's a way to make this change. You gotta start today.